Hey everybody, here we go again. Another situation with an overzealous police officer happened in California. This happened with a rapper, Feezy LeBron. Never heard of him, but he's been rapping for 5 years, he says. And he was in Los Angeles. He was sitting in a parking lot, and some deputies pulled up on him. It was at night. Pulled up on him, tried to snatch him out of his car, and then one of the deputies in this altercation, his name was Deputy Justin Sabatine. He had made some serious threats on LeBron, talking about if you move, I'm going to shoot you in the chest. You know, this went on, and this is the video.
Hi. Hi. What are you doing? Stop, stop, stop. Alright, I'm just gonna spray him, dude. Watch out. Yeah, alright. I'm just gonna spray you. Get out. Get out or you're getting sprayed. Get out or you're getting sprayed. Get out. Reach around. You take off in this car, I'm gonna shoot you. I'm gonna make it super easy on you. You put this car in drive, you're getting one right to the chest. I don't care what you got. I don't care if you got bullshit on you. But guess what, bro? Now you gotta deal with it. But if you pull some bullshit, you're gonna take one to the chest. Absolutely. Absolutely. If you don't listen, you're done. You understand me? Gardiner, Lawndale Unit 10-6. Unit comply or no?
Comply with?
If you move your hands from right there, you're in trouble.
So you gonna shoot me? I'm sitting in the damn car, bro.
14809 Crenshaw, Wheat Shop parking lot.
I'm sitting in the damn car.
Move your hands from right there, and you're done.
So I'm under arrest or what, bro? You got guns on
You are most definitely 1,050% detained. And if you do anything other than what you're doing right now, then you're gonna have some major consequences to deal with.
For what?
I'm gonna make it super simple for you.
For what?
It's already been explained to you.
For what?
Already been explained to you.
So what's scary about this video as you watch it is just like, you know, the guy's just sitting in his car. He's not doing anything. And in the police playbook, is this how we approach people that are in their cars? Like, I've been approached in my car, and a police officer will knock on the window, talk to me, I'll roll down my window. I mean, if you're in a dark area driving around, one time I was driving around, I was teaching my daughter how to drive, and so I picked parking lots that are safe, but it was at night, and we were at a warehouse area, and we're driving around, and I knew eventually a police officer would spot us because, you know, our lights are out there, we're driving around. It's kind of suspicious behavior, I guess. But he pulled up on us. And my daughter's driving, by the way. I'm teaching her to drive. She's 16, she's driving, 15 or 16 permit. And so we roll down the window and, you know, we keep our cool. He looks in the car, he knows immediately what's up. He knows immediately, and he says, "Oh, you're teaching her to drive?" I said, "Yeah." Says, "Oh, okay." And he said, "Have a good night," and that was the end of it, you know. But in this situation here, so it could happen to any of us. That's my point. It could happen to any of us. You can be this in normal situations, and the police are going to come and check it out. They're going to see what you're doing. It's all good. But in this situation, with this person, LeBron, they're not coming to see what you're doing. They're opening the door. They're trying to pull you out. They're harassing you. They're putting fear into you. They're pointing their guns. They're pointing maces. They're threatening with your life. Whole different scenario. So it spooked him. And he was a little bit, you know, hesitant when the officer pulled up his door and then grabbed him. It's like, you don't even know what you're going to do in those situations. But so as citizens, it's scary when you come across that situation because we feel unprotected against police who are supposed to protect us. And part of the reason we feel unprotected is because they're not supervised out there. You know, you're relying on polices and their goodwill, and I'll get to that, but they're not supervised out there. So because he's not supervised, he thinks he can do whatever he wants to, even though there's cameras, but a lot of times they won't check the camera unless there's incident, which in this case, there was an incident. So in my mind, I look at this situation, I'm thinking, what's the threat? Because I can understand as I'm looking at this, and maybe you do too, is that if there was some sort of incident like a mass shooting, we've had lots of those, right? And they got wind that this is a guy who did the mass shooting. They found out where he was, and they figured he's sitting in his car. So he's dangerous, right? He has a history of mass shooting. He definitely has a weapon. So yeah, when they approach the car, they're grabbing at this guy, right? If they even do that. He's got his gun out, pointing at the guy, letting him know, don't you move, or I'm gonna shoot you in the chest. I get the threat, right? Mass shooting. This guy's already proven himself to be dangerous, so it makes sense when the police makes that kind of threat. It makes sense. He's letting them know that I'm going to shoot you if you move, because I have to shoot you because of what you just did. This not gonna hesitate. But like I said, and I keep repeating myself here, this guy's just sitting in his car. He's sitting in his car. So why are we using that kind of force in that situation? This is what creates this distrust with some police officers. Is this is what people are afraid of? Think about people. People are afraid of police not because they're so tough, and it's not because we're criminals and the police approach us. We're afraid of police of some of these situations because we feel that we need protection from them. Like in this situation, this guy needed protection from them. Not only did they pull him out of his car, handcuff him, sit in a police car, but they searched his car. He told them, "You don't have my consent to search the car." But they said they didn't need their consent. So they searched his car for an hour looking for something, and they found nothing. They found no drugs, which they said that's why they approached him in the first place. They found nothing on this guy. They eventually did give him a ticket because he didn't have a front license plate, but they found nothing. They harassed him and terrified him for nothing. So after the incident, this person, LeBron, went to the police department. He wanted to file the complaint, and eventually they wouldn't help him. They made him sit for 4 hours. He sat for 4 hours waiting for someone to talk to, waiting for somebody to complain to. And eventually, this deputy, Justin Sabatine, came out and laughed at him and mocked at him about his attempts to make a complaint. But I think he didn't leave until he was able to file a complaint. And now what they're doing is they're looking, his own department is looking into the situation. So I've seen this before where, a deputy or police officer is laughing about something they did, and they can do that among each other, and they can even do it to citizens and justify why he did what he did. But when it comes to their own department, though, when they have an investigator looking at these things, they look at it very seriously. And a lot of times I've seen, people, officers who, do something so gross like this officer did. This is gross. This is so obnoxious of an officer to do on a citizen, to terrorize a citizen. This is so obnoxious. So when you see some of these officers do something this obnoxious, a lot of times they'll quit because of the investigation. They'll get fired because of the investigation. They might get prosecuted. Citizen might sue the department, which will probably happen here. Or in some cases, the boss will get fired. Sometimes they're just looking at the whole situation, and the boss will get fired in this situation. So it's not a good thing, and it's not safe that this thing is even being investigated. I mean, he did everything he could to keep this guy from reporting. I don't even think he knew the video was out there. It was an audible. I don't think he knew it was out there. But now that it is, it's horrible. But the deputy had a camera thing. They're not showing the whole hour. They show, distant part. Trying to be transparent, I guess. So we'll see. We'll see. One of my final thoughts is that I wonder though, like we all have like these biases and stuff. And the thing about us, we're relying on police and goodwill. And the goodwill with some police doesn't apply to all of us. Sometimes it doesn't apply to women, sometimes it doesn't apply to brown people. And if you have an obnoxious police officer doing things like this, then it becomes dangerous because everyday citizen, he's not a criminal, he's an everyday citizen. And when you have an everyday citizen with police doing these things, what it does, it creates this scenario where a citizen becomes a criminal. Just like that. And that's what we're afraid of. with some of these police. And so that's why it's so important, and we're doing it, but it's so important that we can't be silent. Like this guy did everything, he recorded, but also, and the police recorded too, but we can't be silent. He went and waited 4 hours to report it. We just can't be silent. We need these cameras. We have to do everything to offset these type of police. We have to work together with other police. We have to work together with investigators. We have to do whatever we can, because we can't just not have citizens regardless. We can have these strong biases within some police, and they get to exercise it in a public office, in a public position. This position is to protect all of us, not some of us. And it's not there so they can use their personal bias to hurt some of us. Like in this situation, I felt like it was a personal bias. He saw this guy sitting in his BMW, and he didn't like it for some reason. We don't know why. And he just went after this guy. He just tried to, mess up his day, mess up his psyche, mess up his life somehow. And that's what we have to stop. Final thing is that these type of police, though, they are losing credibility. It doesn't seem like it because we keep seeing them pop up, but they are losing credibility. They're losing their power, and not by choice. It's because of all of you and many others out there not pretending anymore, not turning away. As long as we continue to film, we don't pretend it doesn't exist. We don't gaslight people who go through these experiences, and don't turn the other way. We can help bypass, we can help eliminate these situations so that we all get equal protection with these police officers.